Gentlemen, picture yourself waking up tomorrow with the kind of strength and vitality you haven't experienced in years. No medications, no devices, no dangerous treatments, just your hands and a few minutes of precise, targeted stimulation to awaken your body's natural arousal mechanisms. I'm Dr. Laura Bennett, a urologist with over a decade of experience helping men restore their intimate wellness. Today, I'm going to reveal 3 specific stimulation points on your masculine anatomy and surrounding regions that can restore morning firmness by enhancing blood circulation, relaxing essential muscles, and boosting nerve sensitivity. If you miss that automatic morning awakening, stay with me because by the end of this presentation, you'll know exactly where these points are located, how to stimulate them safely, and how frequently to perform this routine for genuine results. Before we dive into the location and technique, you need to understand the underlying mechanism, because once you grasp the science behind this approach, you'll realize you're not simply pressing on skin. You're activating one of the most powerful systems in the male physiology. Erections aren't random or purely mechanical. They result from an intricately coordinated interaction between your brain, spinal cord, blood vessels, nerves, and muscular structures. Everything begins with nerve impulses, tiny electrical signals that travel at incredible speed from your brain or sensory nerves to the erectile tissue. These signals instruct the smooth muscles inside the penis to relax, allowing blood to rush in and fill the spongy chambers known as the corpora cavernosa. As they expand, veins that typically drain blood are compressed, trapping the blood inside and creating rigidity. Here's where age transforms the equation. Over time, blood vessels in your pelvic region can lose flexibility due to decreased elasticity in arterial walls, a process accelerated by years of wear, mild inflammation, or conditions like hypertension. Simultaneously, nerve conduction slows, meaning those electrical messages from your brain or sensory receptors don't transmit as rapidly or powerfully as they once did. This dual impact, sluggish circulation, and diminished nerve signals, is a primary reason morning erections begin to fade after 50 or 60. Targeted pressure point stimulation works by sending an immediate activation signal through your nervous system. When you press or massage specific locations, you activate clusters of sensory nerve endings that connect directly to reflex pathways controlling erection mechanisms. These signals don't remain localized. They travel to the pelvic nerve network and even ascend to the spinal cord's sacral region, which houses the erection control center. This initiates a cascade effect. The nervous system instructs the smooth muscle in the penis to relax, the arteries to dilate, and blood to flow more freely. But the effects extend further. Some of these points also directly influence the pelvic floor muscles, the hammock-like muscles that support the penis during erection and help regulate ejaculation. Stimulating them can enhance their tone and responsiveness, making it easier to maintain firmness once achieved. This is why the effect of pressure point work is often dual purpose. It can help initiate erections more readily and also help you sustain them longer. When you press or massage the correct locations, you're essentially bypassing some age-related slowdowns and providing your erection system with a direct manual boost. Think of it like rebooting a computer, clearing the lag, refreshing the signal, and allowing the hardware and software to work together smoothly again. When done consistently, this type of stimulation can retrain your erectile reflexes, improve vascular flexibility, and even enhance nerve sensitivity over time. The first point we're going to target is called the root groove, located precisely at the foundation of your manhood, the exact spot where the shaft meets the pubic region. To locate it, run your fingers along the underside of the shaft toward your body. You'll discover a subtle groove or depression, almost like a natural hinge where the erectile tissue blends into the deeper structures anchored in the pelvis. This area might feel slightly different from the rest of the shaft, somewhat firmer or more textured, because it's a convergence point of crucial anatomical structures. Why is this location so significant? Beneath your skin here lies a concentrated network of sensory nerve endings, including branches of the dorsal penile nerve, along with key blood vessel junctions that feed directly into the erectile chambers. Consider it a command center where signals from your nervous system and circulation converge. By stimulating this region, you're essentially activating both your nerve pathways and your vascular system simultaneously, encouraging better communication between your brain, spinal cord, and masculine anatomy. When you apply gentle but deliberate circular motions to the root groove, you're sending two crucial messages to your body. First, you're telling your blood vessels to open up and allow more flow, which enhances circulation. Second, you're telling your nerve fibers to wake up and prepare to transmit signals more efficiently. This combination primes the erectile tissue to respond more quickly when arousal signals arrive, whether in the morning or later during the day. Here's the proper technique. Position your thumb directly over the root groove while your fingers support the back of the shaft. Begin with moderate pressure, enough to feel the tissue beneath your thumb, but never to the point of discomfort. Create small, slow circles, allowing the warmth of your touch to gently spread through the area. As you work, you can gradually increase the pressure intensity, especially if you feel the tissue beginning to soften and relax. You might notice a pleasant warmth, subtle tingling, or even a sense of fullness beginning to develop. These sensations are your body's way of indicating that blood flow is increasing and your erectile tissue is becoming more responsive. If you don't feel much initially, don't be concerned. Consistency is crucial. Over time, daily practice will heighten sensitivity in this area and make the results more apparent. For optimal results, work on the root groove daily in the morning, ideally before you even leave bed when your body is naturally relaxed. A warm shower is another perfect opportunity, as the heat will have already softened your tissues and improved blood flow. Over weeks, this simple but precise technique can retrain your erectile reflexes, helping restore those strong, reliable morning erections you thought were gone forever. The second point we're focusing on isn't actually on the shaft itself, but in a slightly hidden, often neglected region, the perineum. This is that soft, slightly springy patch of tissue located between the scrotum and the anus. Many men completely overlook it, but in terms of erection strength and control, it's an absolute powerhouse. Why? Because it sits directly above the bulbospongiosus muscle, a key player in maintaining firmness once you're aroused. The bulbospongiosus muscle is one of the primary muscles in your pelvic floor, responsible for trapping blood inside the penis during an erection. Think of it as a natural valve that prevents blood from escaping too quickly. Over time, especially with age, this muscle can weaken if not actively engaged, making it harder to maintain strong erections. By applying targeted pressure and massage to the perineal spot, you can reflexively activate this muscle, essentially giving it a workout without performing a complete set of Kegel exercises. To locate it, either sit in a comfortable chair or lie back with your knees slightly apart. Using two fingers, typically your index and middle finger, work best. Press gently but firmly into the center of the perineum. You're not pressing hard enough to cause discomfort, but enough to feel the underlying muscle respond. Move your fingers in slow, deliberate circles, staying centered on that sweet spot. As you massage, you may notice subtle sensations building. Perhaps a gentle warmth radiating toward your penis or a faint pulsing as blood flow improves. That's your pelvic muscles awakening and your circulation responding. Spend 2 to 3 minutes here, keeping your touch steady and controlled. For an added boost, combine this with light pelvic floor exercises like Kegels, either before or after the massage. This combination doesn't just help in the moment, it trains the muscle to contract more powerfully during arousal, making your erections feel fuller and more dependable over time. The perineum may be out of sight, but when it comes to restoring morning vitality, it should never be out of mind. The third and final point is located at one of the most sensitive regions of the male anatomy, right beneath the head of the penis. This is known as the glans, and more specifically, we're targeting the ring-like ridge where the glans meets the shaft, called the corona. This area is packed with an incredibly dense concentration of sensory nerve endings. These nerves are your body's primary messengers for sending arousal signals to the spinal cord's erection center. When this spot is stimulated with the right balance of pressure and rhythm, it can heighten nerve responsiveness, making it easier to transition from arousal to a full erection. It's almost like fine-tuning your body's arousal circuitry, so it responds more efficiently when the moment arrives. This point works best when the stimulation is controlled. Too much intensity here can overwhelm the nerves and produce the opposite effect. To work this area, gently grasp your manhood with your thumb and forefinger, positioning them on either side of the corona. Lightly squeeze the ridge and hold for about 5 seconds, then slowly release. Repeat this squeeze and release action for roughly 1 minute, ensuring the pressure remains firm but comfortable. After that, switch to slow circular motions around the entire circumference of the corona, letting your fingers glide just enough to stimulate the nerve endings without causing friction irritation. This second minute of circular work helps awaken the sensory pathways even more, encouraging faster signal transmission between the penis and the brain. Over time, consistent stimulation of the glands ring in this moderate, rhythmic manner can lead to stronger, more frequent morning erections. You may also notice an improvement in overall sensitivity during intimacy, making arousal feel more natural and spontaneous. Remember, this isn't about overwhelming the nerves. It's about gently reconditioning them to respond the way they did in your younger years. Think of it as a daily reminder to your body of how good blood flow and nerve coordination are supposed to feel. The very best results happen when you treat these 3 points not as isolated techniques, but as components of a single intentional routine. Here's the sequence I recommend to my patients for maximum benefit. Begin with the root groove for about 90 seconds, making those small, steady, circular motions until you feel the area warm and responsive. Then shift to the perineal spot for 2 minutes, pressing and massaging in slow, deliberate circles to activate the pelvic floor and encourage deeper circulation. Finally, finish with the glans ring for another 2 minutes using that squeeze and release technique, followed by gentle circular strokes to reawaken nerve sensitivity. Done consecutively, this sequence stimulates blood flow, engages muscle support, and sharpens nerve communication, all the key elements needed for firmer, more reliable morning erections. Now, I want to set proper expectations. This isn't a magic solution that transforms everything overnight. Your body needs time to adapt, to retrain those blood vessels, muscles, and nerves to work together again. However, many of my patients begin noticing subtle but encouraging changes within just 2 to 4 weeks. Improved warmth and fullness in the mornings, erections that last slightly longer, and a general feeling of increased vitality in the pelvic region. For truly lasting improvements, pair this daily pressure point routine with healthy lifestyle habits. Staying well hydrated throughout the day keeps your blood volume and circulation at their peak. Maintaining your pelvic floor strength with exercises like Kegels adds to the firmness you'll notice from this technique. And don't underestimate the power of proper nutrition. When you make these steps part of your daily rhythm, the benefits tend to multiply. The points become more responsive. Circulation improves, and your body begins to remember how to perform the way it once did. It's about creating an environment where strong natural erections can happen more easily and doing it in a way that's safe, drug-free, and completely within your control. Gentlemen, you don't have to accept weaker or disappearing morning erections as a normal part of aging. Your body still has the capacity to respond. It just needs the right stimulation and support. By working these 3 points daily, you can retrain your nerves, restore circulation, and bring back that morning confidence without drugs or risky procedures. If you found this helpful, make it part of your routine and let me know how it works for you. And remember, your sexual health is a reflection of your overall health. So every step you take toward better circulation and muscle tone will pay dividends in the bedroom and beyond.